Braganza, Dean of Brunnel Business School, Brunnel University of London, Professor Ainuro Rosili, Professor of Enterprise and Entrepreneurship, and Dr. Frances Ekulugo, Lead Executive Education, our immediate past presidents, Chief Dr. Ashiwajo Michael Olawale, CON, who is the driver of this project. I want to thank him for bringing Brunnel University to the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She initiated this project. And since last year, the relationship between LCCI and Brunnel University has evolved into several dimensions. It now has the capacity building aspect of it, and then it has the research and training aspect of it. So we are now working with the university from 2 departments in LCCI. We have 2 directors in LCCI that are now working with Brunnel University. That's a very rapid growth and development of a relationship that started just 2 years ago. It's a great honor to address you at this auspicious occasion of the Brunnel University Special Day at this fair. Today we gather not only to celebrate the contributions of Brunnel University to education in the United Kingdom, but also to reflect on the theme of this trade fair, connecting businesses and creating value. In the journey towards economic transformation, education stands as the bedrock upon which sustainable development is built. An educated workforce fuels productivity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Around the world, the most successful economies are those that have invested heavily in education, ensuring their citizens are equipped with the skills and knowledge to excel in a competitive global marketplace. For Nigeria to reach its full potential and meet its growth targets, it's imperative that we prioritize and invest in the education sector. At this event, we are having the grand presentation of the LCCI Brunnel University Awards to selected winners from the numerous nominations received from the 20th of September to now. We will at some point have the opportunity to witness the presentation of the awards to the winners of the 3 categories: Sustainable Business of the Year, High Growth Business of the Year, Entrepreneur of the Year. In a nutshell, the theme of this year's fair, Connecting Business, Creating Value, is a clarion call for all of us to recognize the intrinsic link between education, business, and sustainable development. As Nigeria strives for economic growth, it is imperative that we place education at the forefront of our national agenda. Institutions like Brunnel University have demonstrated that by fostering partnerships, promoting practical skills, and investing in research, we can create a robust education ecosystem that meets the demands of the 21st century. The challenges we face are considerable, but with collaborative effort, we can transform Nigeria's educational sector into a dynamic force that not only prepares our youth for the future, but also drives the nation's economic development. Let us all commit to working together, one where knowledge, innovation, and opportunity are accessible to everyone. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I understand that the Brunnel team management travels tonight, so we have to do everything, so to say. Presentations by Brunnel University team. I think Professor Ashley Brangaza will lead us through. After that, you have the presentation of awards, as mentioned by the president is here. Please, you can come, Prof. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for coming here this afternoon. Before I get started, let me first say thank you, Mr. President and Mr. Deputy President. Thank you as well, Prince Ola Sharif, the chair of the Trade Promotion Board and also Vice President of LCCI. And of course, my friend, the past president, Ashwaju, Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, for whom I really owe a debt of thanks for making this possible. In addition to which, I would like to also thank my colleagues who've come with me from Brunnel, Professor Anurol and Dr. Francis as well. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be here today. I came to Lagos for the first time about a year ago, and at that point, it was wonderful seeing your wonderful city, meeting some businesses, and having the pleasure with Michael. And in the course of that conversation, I said, you know, coming from an academic institution that has got its roots very much into the heart of business, it didn't seem right that we were just meeting academic institutions. I wanted to engage with people from businesses. I wanted to engage with Lagos businesses and Nigerian businesses more generally. Michael said, why don't you look at working with the LCCI? And he introduced me to the current president and other colleagues as well. And I have to say that it has been an eye-opener, because the extent to which Nigerian businesses are so thriving and the extent to which Nigerian businesses are so vibrant is really what we want to recognize, in part through the awards. What I'd also like to do is just very briefly tell you a little bit about Brunnel, about the university, and about the business school in particular, which I represent. Let me start with this slide here, and I'm going to pick on probably the smallest word which is on this slide, which is this corner, bottom left here, because the name of the university now, as of the 1st of October, is Brunnel University of London. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the UK education system, there is a university, a federation, which is a federation of other universities called the University of London. And in that federation are very august, very high-ranking institutions. So the London School of Economics, King's College, Queen Mary's, Royal Holloway, City University, these are all parts of the University of London. And on the 1st of October, Brunnel became part of that federation. And so, thank you. And so that little word "of" makes a big difference to us, because now we are part of the University of London. But that is really the tip of the iceberg. This is the kind of cherry on the cake. Because what we want to do in the business school, forgive the photograph, try not to look. It'll give you nightmares if you look too long. what we want to do in the business school and what we want to do in the university is really engage with businesses, engage with NGOs, engage with policymakers, and we want to engage and have a real impact on the businesses, on the way in which businesses operate. And this theme of creating an ecosystem is one that I will come back to. And the numbers at the bottom are just to kind of give you an indication of the size of the business school and the range of activities that we are involved with. As I said to you, the most recent development about Brunnel took place on the 1st of October. But actually, if you trace the roots of the institution back to its origins, the roots go all the way back to the 19th century. We go back to the 1800s. And over this almost coming up to 200 years, the institution has evolved. And the name Brunnel was given to the institution actually in the mid-60s, the mid-1960s. And some of you will know the name Isambard Kingdom Brunnel, the person that we are named after. Brunnel was an engineer. He built the first tunnel under a river. He built the first suspension bridge. He built the first iron-hulled ship. And he did this in the 16 and 1700s. And when he built, for instance, when he built the iron-hulled ship, he said to the builders, to the shipbuilders, he said, create a pontoon over the river up near Liverpool. Create the pontoon over the river so that when the tide comes up, when the ship is ready and the tide comes up, we can float the ship. But clearly they had accountants running businesses then as well. And they said, no, 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 we're going to save cost, we're going to build a ship 200 meters up on the bank because it's cheaper to do it there. So they built the ship, and it took another 100 years to get the technology to pull the ship down to the riverbank and float it. So for 100 years, that ship sat on the river. Once they did float it, she sailed for a further 240 years. That is the legacy of Brunnel. Because very often he was the one that created some of the world's greatest bridges. But as we look going forward, what we want to do, and we, in particular in the Nigerian context, is we want to work much more closely with Nigerian businesses going ahead. And just to kind of give you a glimpse about Brunnel, there are probably 15,000 business schools around the world, give or take, 15,000 business schools. And we are double accredited, and that puts us in the top 1% of business schools globally. So we are, thank you. We are a really, really elite business school amongst some very, very good business schools. We work with a number of professional bodies because we recognize that our students today, we can't just send them out with a degree, because a degree on its own is not going to get you a job. A degree on its own is not going to prepare you for a job that doesn't exist today, because the technology itself is changing so quickly. So what we want to do is make sure that when a student comes to us to do an undergraduate degree or a master's degree, that what they leave with is not just a piece of paper, but they leave with some very practical skills by working with businesses even while they are on our degree programs. So we are very close to all the professional bodies, including the Institute of Chartered Accountants, the ACC, the HR and personnel, marketing, logistics and transport. Our students get very practical experience while they are with us. In terms of our research, I'll leave you to read the numbers and to read the bullet points, but in terms of our research, we are world class. We have some of the best academics that work in the business school and work in Brunnel. I started a center for artificial intelligence, and I started that center back in 2018. It was probably the first center for, certainly in the UK, probably in the world. And that was before most people could spell artificial intelligence. And now everybody's talking about AI. But I need you to think that when you hear the word Brunnel, we are at the leading edge of thought and practice. This is just to show that we are genuinely a global institution. In fact, we are ranked as the 4th most international UK institution because of our alumni, because of our contacts with industry, because of our contacts with universities. So you begin to see that wherever there are businesses trading, we are present and we have some relationship there. Let me turn a little bit for a few minutes just to the specifics on what we are doing with businesses. And what we want to do is we want to drive growth, but sustainable growth. The mission of the business school is to develop sustainable societies. Sustainability is something that is really important to us. And it needs to be sustainable not just in terms of the environment. It needs to be sustainable in terms of the society, the community that people are part of. We are all parts of communities, and we need to respect those communities and ensure that growth and wealth is spread amongst all our communities. So we want to work with businesses at all levels of their development. Not just the big ones and not just the small ones. We want to work with businesses, particularly scale-ups, who want to grow. And here are 3 types of programs that we have to offer. So the accelerator programs, and I'll tell you a little bit about one of those in a minute, but these are really about taking a business that was already running and saying, how do we help you to grow this business? How do we help you to generate further revenue, further growth, whether it's domestically or internationally? And increasingly, from what you heard earlier, and some of the comments made by our colleagues from Afrexim Bank really resonated with me, because the future for growth is through trade. It is through exports. It is through building partnerships overseas. And we want to be at the heart of that development for businesses. Even though we are an academic institution, we want to be part of that growth. So those are the accelerator programs. Executive education is around how do we develop either individuals or groups of individuals in an organization. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And of course, we provide consultancy and advisory activities as well. We work with a number of companies, both in the UK and elsewhere. And this is just a very quick timeline of some of the developments that we have seen since 2019. And what you begin to see is we've worked with the UK government to put a program together called Help to Grow. We worked with the European and UK government on another program, which was about Build Back Better, which is at the top. So this was helping small and medium-sized businesses to develop. And more importantly now, we're working with a whole range of both public sector and private sector organizations. So it's just a way of kind of giving you an idea of some of the things that we're doing in this space. I said I would tell you about one of our accelerator programs, and this is a program called Trade to Grow. Because the idea here is small businesses, medium-sized businesses, in fact, even some larger businesses. I was saying a little earlier, I'm of a 3-week journey It's going to be 3 weeks before I can sleep in my own bed because from I go to India and then I go to Dubai. And part of what I'm doing there is talking to businesses in the construction sector, because in the Middle East, they have lots of companies in the construction sector. And I saw that there's a stand outside for a company dealing with cement, in fact, because if you look at those businesses, there is a certain amount of growth you can get from the domestic market, and there is a significant amount of growth that can be done from trading internationally. That QR code is live, so if you did want to know more about that particular program, you can search that QR code. And as you can see, we rarely do a program on our own. So with this program we do with the Chartered Institute for Export and International Trade, and we're also working with the LCCI in this, for this program as well. And another type of program is around building leadership capacity. And capacity building is really important, because if a business, if you run your own, how many of you here run a business? I should have asked this earlier. Okay, quite a few of you run your own businesses. And you will know that if you're running a business, there are only 24 hours in a day, right? And I know that I have tried to squeeze in 32 hours in a day, and after a while you end up with hair that's this color, right? So can you see, there is only so much time in the day. Then you have to build a team and lead a team. Leadership is really important, and people think that leadership is something that is, something that people are born with, and it isn't. Leadership is a skill that can be learned. And so what we want to do is put together this program so that anyone in this room, any of your friends or your contacts, can start to think about how you develop your own leadership skill and your own leadership style. We have accreditations, as I said earlier. We have multiple accreditations. Within the university, the business school has the most accreditations, and therefore the bill of recognition from the professional bodies going across the entire university. And here, this is really just to kind of tell you that our alumni have had a very good experience when they come here. And we now have not just our alumni of students, we are building a very large alumni of business people as well. And we want to invite you to the events that we are running, not just here, but also we're traveling from here to Abuja, in fact, to do some work out there. So you are more than welcome to attend any of our events when we send them out. And again, these are some of the results that our alumni tell us that they have achieved. You know, double the revenue, a 45% increase in profits, and a 25% increase in employment and in their workforce. So our companies who work with us see the benefits, and we work with them to achieve those benefits. And again, you can begin to see that we work in many different parts of the world, in many different sectors. So, just before I go there, it now gives me great pleasure to announce the winners, as Mr. President said. I should tell you that one of the conversations that I had very early on was I wanted to come in and not just say, let's work with businesses. I wanted to kind of get to know some of the businesses here in Lagos. And so I proposed with the LCCI that we should offer some prizes, some awards for businesses who are doing particularly well. And together with the LCCI, we came up with 3 categories. We came up with the high growth category, so which companies have really grown and focused on sustainable growth. We came up with sustainability, which companies are operating in a sustainable way. And we wanted one which recognized individual effort as well. And so we came up with the Entrepreneur of the Year award. So we have, I'd like to thank all of the people who submitted applications. There were some really excellent applications that were submitted. And the deciding was, in some cases, was very tight. It was very close. It was a very tough field in terms of applications. But what I'd like to do now is just go through and tell you a little bit about the winners, and then I'd invite the winners to come up and receive their award. Okay. So I'll start with the high growth business. And the winner for 2024 is the 2K. So could I ask, thank you. Yes, Mr. President, would you like to come up, please? Congratulations. Mr. President, thank you so much. Yes. We'll hand the award out together in a moment. I'll just say something. Yes, I'll just do the citation. Do you mind the 2K Shop. 2K Shop was a really interesting business model because it's all about affordable fashion. And the concept is that no item should be more than 2,950 naira. In fact, possibly even coming down below that. The judges were hugely impressed by 2K Shop, which started with an initial investment of just 20,000 naira. But with the reinvestment of profits into into kind of understanding their market, they've grown to over 2,000 customers and now deliver their products to over 10 countries. We were hugely impressed by your application. So please, Mr. President, come. If you come in the middle. And then we can. Thank you so much. Pleasure. Don't go away. We'll catch up with you afterwards. The second award is for the Sustainable Business of the Year 2024. And the award goes to Eon's Fleet. Could I ask? Please. Congratulations. Please come and take a center stage. So the business model for Eon's Fleet is to provide technology solutions for the transport, logistics, and supply chain sectors. Not only do they minimize their own the environmental impact of their own operations, but they also do so for their clients. They prioritize eco-friendly operations, helping companies reduce their carbon footprint, and ensuring that they are able to promote sustainable development. Put your hand on. And the final award goes to the Entrepreneur of the Year 2024. And the winner, oh, there you go back, there you go. And the winner is Michael Owolabi. Where is Michael? Is Michael here? I understood he was here. Okay. Well, Michael runs the... He's on his way. He's on his way, apparently. But let me just tell you, Michael started the Pelican Group in 2004, and he's grown the business to make it a benchmark in interior design, both in terms of sales, distribution, manufacturing, and logistics in high-end furniture and interiors. So we'll keep the award for him when he arrives. So that brings this session to a close, but just before once again, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for attending. I hope you find it useful. And I look forward to working with Nigerian businesses, with the LCCI, and certainly look forward to visiting Lagos again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. As we have the prize winners go off, we'd like to invite the president, the deputy president, the former president, and members of the SCCI to please wait and make a presentation to the leadership at Brunnel University. Thank you. Dr. Francis, please. Professor.
Well, Prof, this is a little token to show our appreciation for coming all the way from the United Kingdom and spend this day with us and leave us with a legacy for these two young businesses that they will remember for the rest of their lives. Absolutely. And we have many reasons to thank you for the energy and investment in this collaboration. Since my immediate past president introduced us to this project, we didn't know that it'd be as big as it is turning out to be. And I really want to thank Prof and the team that we are really inspired by what we see to put a lot more energy in this collaboration going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
While we invite Professor Bragaza to sign the visitors register, may I quickly invite the chairman of the Trade Promotion Board, Prince Abimbola Olashore, FCA, to move the vote of thanks.
the President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, Deputy President Engineer Kupolu, our own past President, Ashwadu Dr. Michael Olawale Cole. Past President, I must make a confession. I was hosted by Brunnel University over the summer, and I had the opportunity of having a sumptuous lunch in the university, what I call hotel. I was privileged to be introduced by Ashwaju Dr. Michael Olawale Cole. So to me, it's when I'm not being told to talk about Brunnel, I don't even need any kind of notes. I think I can speak from the top of my head, and I can clearly confirm that the campus I saw and the people I interacted with are really top-notch. So it's really, without hesitation, that when I came back and I saw the extent of the work being done, I said, oh yes, we are truly on to a winner here. And now, you are now Brunnel University of London. I think that's another clue. So congratulations. So, to the formal part of my vote of thanks. On behalf of President, Council, and members of the Trade Promotion Board of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I wish to express our gratitude to the leadership of Brunnel University, ably led by Professor Ashley Braganza, Dean of Brunnel Business School, for being part of this special day at the 2024 Lagos International Trade Fair. Our special appreciation goes to the principal officers for their passion in participating with us. They've been with us all day, so they've also had a feel of the breadth of what the Lagos International Trade Fair has to offer. We hope that your participation today will translate into a meaningful enlightenment for the populace on the academic standards and quality of the education Brunnel University offers to build capacity globally and to promote career development. This special day event is an effective platform that supports Brunnel University in creating the much needed awareness towards promoting its brand as a leading global education and research institutions. And I think in particular, really must thank Brunnel University for using our platform for the announcement of the awards to deserving entrepreneurs. I think there is no other platform. There is no other platform that is better suited for this. The trade fair is an environment that tries to house hundreds of SMEs. And I think by the time we start showcasing what is done and the awards, I'm pretty well sure when next you are coming for such an award, a lot of people that will apply will probably come from those who are within the trade fair. So in case you've not been around the fair, we will encourage you to please go around, if you have time for a catch a flight, to try and see a little snapshot of what Lagos thriving SME sector and Lagos entrepreneurship is really all about. So we are optimistic about the crucial role played by large research institutions like Brunnel University in promoting excellent education, research, and knowledge transfer. And again, the optimism is clearly based on some of the statistics that you have shared with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's trade fair has attracted numerous local and international companies, key private sector stakeholders, and very pronounced government institutions. My appreciation therefore goes to the media, which has stood by us and has given very robust coverage of the fair every year. And to our partners and sponsors, we do appreciate your support and cooperation that has sustained this legacy project, the Lagos International Trade Fair. So once again, I must thank you all for being part of this year's fair, and I look forward to welcome some of you again at tomorrow's event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prince. Prof, we'll wait for you. You will sign. We want to feel your presence. You will sign. But you can take your time about it. You don't have to rush, sir. Have a band. Just give us some music while Prof is signing. Thank you very much. Thank you, David Band. I'd like to remind all of us here that programs here start at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. PENCOM, they've already come to make arrangements. We have Money Point also tomorrow after PENCOM. After them, they have the National Directorate of Employment. After that, we have Osun State of Nigeria, and then Federal Inland Revenue Service. As the day progresses, I'll let you know. I promised earlier, I'm going to fulfill that promise now. Shall we rise? First, for the National Anthem of England, then after that, we start National Anthem of Nigeria. National Anthem of England, please. Amen. Shall we have the National Anthem of Nigeria?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
God bless Nigeria. God bless you all. We shall meet tomorrow morning at 9:30. Thank you very much.